Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karvavahi. This is the idea of the Upanishads. This Shanti mantra says, may we be protected together. Sahana avatu, sahanau bhunaktu. May we enjoy the fruits of our labor together. Sahaviryam karvavahi. May we work together, strive together. May we exert ourselves in the pursuit of knowledge. And tejas vinamaditamastu. Whatever we do, let it remain in our memory. Let it remain with us forever. And ma vidvishavahi. Let us not cause hostility and sorrow to each other in this process of learning and teaching. So we were in the 11th chapter yesterday, and we learnt a few things like there is no point in running behind the shadows of this world because none of it is real. It all appears to be real, but he says that all the ideas of your sukha, dukkha, janma, mrityu, they are all transient, they will be passing, they cannot be permanent. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha, it is says. Tasmat apariharyarthe tatra ka paridevana. Chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is very important. If somebody wants to read Bhagavad Gita, even if they don't read the whole of it, at least the chapter 2 should be read. The idea is that this birth and death are part of life. If birth happens, death will follow. If death happens, a birth follows. At least in the Eastern philosophy, we truly believe in that. Somebody said, how do you know that this is true? That people are born and people die and then people are born. They are the same souls getting recycled, repeated again and again. And I keep telling the story of Kanchi Paramacharya, who once was questioned like this, and he invited the journalist who was questioning to go and see all the babies that were born in Kanchipuram around that time, in the last 1 or 2 days, and make a report and come back as to what kind of babies they are, in which families they were born, rich, poor, healthy, sick, and so on. So this journalist went about collecting the data and came back and said all these babies were born. Some were born in rich families, well-to-do families, some were born to poor parents, some were born with some congenital diseases, some were born very healthy, and so on and so forth. So after the whole list was prepared and submitted, Mahaswamiji told, tell me, why would God be partial to some by giving them birth in rich families, healthy bodies, and why would he be not kind to the others by making them born in poor households and with sickness? There is no answer to that because God by nature is supposed to be impartial, loving to all. Then what makes people rich or poor or healthy or sick at the time of birth? During one's life, one can become rich or poor, we understand. But what's the fault of the babies to be born this way? There were no answers. There is no answer to that. And that is the time when he said, because we have a previous karma, life, our prarabdhas are there. As we learned yesterday, prarabdha, sanchita and agami karmas are there. In that prarabdha is what is in motion right now, the actions of which the results are now in fruition. So those are the results now we are experiencing by being born in certain families, certain problems. He says, if you want to somehow remedy this, tasmat apariharyarthe, it is not possible to remedy this or change this or adjust this or modify this. This is how it is. The one who is born will die, the one who dies will be born again. This goes on. And you do not have any control over it. You cannot change it. You cannot modify it or remedy this. Tasmat apariharyarthe. Natvam shochitum harasi, he says. Don't you be sad over this. Don't you worry about it. Don't you be anxious. Because this is beyond your control. As we say, if it is in your control, then why worry? And if it is not in your control, then why worry as well? Because both ways you can't do anything about it. So, the Jnani sees these transience, impermanence and accepts it. Accepts it. This is the nature of the world. This is what Ashtavakra is saying in all the last few shlokas. Accept this is the nature of the world. The one who is born would die. The one who dies will be born again. Today there will be happy times, tomorrow there might be sad times. Today there is success, tomorrow there will be failure. Today you might be excited, tomorrow you will be depressed. This is the way of life. It goes on and on and on like a cycle. Like seasons change every year. When we celebrate our new year, we call it Samvatsara. Samvasanti Ritavah Yasmin iti Samvatsaraha. It means that period of time in which different seasons happen. That is the period called 1 year in our Sanskrit verse. What it means is that once you enter a new year, you are ready to accept all the seasons. You can't wish away, I don't like cold, there shouldn't be any winters this year. Or I don't like rains, there should not be raining this year. Nature is not going to listen to you. Of course, we are disturbing nature right now, and seasonal changes are happening and climate issues are started. That's a different matter. But this is something which is part of nature. When we start a year, we even in India, in Yugadi, when we start in Telugu and even Kannada, we make a pachadi, a chutney, a recipe, which is mix of all flavors. It has got bitterness of neem, it has got the sourness of raw mangoes, it has got the sweetness of jaggery, it has got a taste of the tamarind, so also sugar. So all kinds of taste. We mix all of that because we believe that there is no particular taste to life. Life is a mix of several tastes, several flavors. Like the Ugadi Pachadi. It has several flavors. So if somebody says, I think it is sweet, he is right. If somebody says, I think it's bitter, he is also right. Somebody says, I think it is sour, he is also right. Somebody says it is tangy, that also is right. Because all flavors are there in that little recipe, and that is made very intelligently by our ancestors, this formula, to make us understand that the year that is starting now will be mix of things. Nobody can say it is a good year or a bad year. It is a year, that's it. It is a mix of things, and that is how it will be. So that is the idea that Ashtavakra is again and again emphasizing. Don't be too attached to this idea that it has to be this way. Rather be accepting of the fact that life is a mix of things. And it keeps changing. Nothing lasts forever. The good times don't last, so also bad times don't last. So that is the good part. Bad times also don't last. This also comes and goes. That is the idea of etadapi gamishyati. When Krishna tells Yudhishthira, open this leaf in which I have written a small message for you only in the worst of your times. And in one of those very bad times, the king Yudhishthira, desperate to know what was written, opens the leaf on which Krishna had scribbled something and reads, etadapi gamishyati, this too shall pass. That is the way when one should look at life. Everything is passing. Passing clouds, Bhagavan used to say. If you go and complain to him about anything, oh, I have so much trouble, there are so many issues, I have so many doubts, he would say, Anta passing clouds, he would say. That is the idea. Life is a passing cloud. It comes and goes. That's why world is called Jagat. Jagat, the one which comes and goes. So don't be too attached and don't be too insistent about it. We also learned how Kunti went one step ahead and said, actually, if there is going to be trouble and also is going to be good time in this world, I would rather want troubles. That is because only in troubled times do I remember you, Krishna. In good times, I forget you. In good times, I totally forget you. Once I was with Bhagavan, he was telling, it's quite a strong statement he made. He said, people use me like a toilet in the washroom. When there is emergency, your urgency, you come running. You can't wait for a minute. You need to go. And once you're finished, done, your stomach is happy now, you forget. Who revisits the toilet? Do we go to the toilet to pay our gratitude and convey our, whatever, gratefulness that it helped us in very difficult times? No, we don't. So he told people use God like a toilet nowadays. They just come to God when they are desperate for some situation or problem, and after that they forget. They go about eating whatever they want and then do as they please. And only when they have trouble again, they come running again. Don't make like that, he told. So this is how world is. World will be like this, but Kunti says, give me more troubles, O Krishna, because only in troubled times I remember you. If there are no troubled times, I don't remember you at all. So that is the idea. Kabir Das also says, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi, jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye. Everybody remembers God in bad times. Nobody remembers God in good times. If we remember God in good times, then why would we face bad times? Or even if there are bad times, why we will not be able to face it happily? because we are remembering God at all times. So that is the idea. God is not a utility. God is a constant presence which helps us to go through whatever we go through. Today also somebody sent a message. I think David sent a message. At some point in time, after a huge natural disaster, he is a psychotherapist. So he was sent to Philippines, right? And he also went to Haiti. So Haiti also, a lot of tornadoes and all kinds of things happen. And he also went to Philippines for counseling those who went through tremendous losses during those natural calamities. People lost their homes, their wealth, their loved ones, and so on. So for post-traumatic, counseling, he went there. And when he went there, he realized that in one country, without naming, I'm saying, people were far more affected by the calamities. They were far more crestfallen, and it was difficult to counsel them back to positivity. Whereas in another country where people had deeper faith in God, it was easier. People were actually quite resilient. They were able to help each other and look after each other. They did not need any counselor to come from elsewhere and help them, because their faith in God helped them go through even the bad times, believing that this is the least of the worst that could happen to us. Things could have gotten worse than this, but God has given us to bear it. So faith in God, faith in this higher idea of the transience of the world and permanence of divinity helped one country recover from the losses faster, whereas the other country suffered greater deal. The great Buddha says there are two types of suffering. One is the real suffering that happens because of you went through some trouble. The other is your imaginary suffering, which is because you have imagined it to be more than what it really is. He says two arrows strike the person. The first arrow is the actual arrow of a trouble. The second arrow is the imaginary suffering. So he says, while problem is not a choice, your difficulties is not a choice. It will happen to you, but suffering is your choice. Pain is not a choice, but suffering is a choice that you can make. And that suffering one need not go through if one realizes pain and pleasures are part of life. Then we will go through it with equanimity. And the equanimity, samatva, is the yoga. We also learned yesterday that world is transient, so there's no point in spending too much time running and chasing the world, because at the end of it will turn into nothing. Like yesterday, one of the speakers was also saying, Dr. Anand, who had come, he was saying when he went through a tremendous heart problem and he had only 10% chances of survival, he thought, if I had died, all my wealth, knowledge, all my position, power, influence, everything would have turned into nothing for him. It's over. That is the realization when one comes too close to death. That is the idea. So he says that what's the point in running behind things which are impermanent? So we all think that it's all good to hear, but to let go is not easy. To let go is not easy because we are made to think that this is our safety and security. But our Ashtavakra says, believing in the higher truth, the permanence of divinity and the impermanence of the world is real wisdom, and that is what you should be thinking and believing in. I'll go to the next shloka, which is on page number 107. It's the fifth shloka, which says, Chintaya jayate dukkham nanyathe heti nishchayi taya hinah sukhi shantah sarvatra galitas pruhaha, which means chinta. Chinta means worry. This just now I mentioned, pain is inevitable, but suffering is your choice. Like that, problems in life are inevitable, but worrying about it is your choice. You make it worse by worrying too much, and some people are so worried that even if there is no problem, they imagine that something will go wrong. They're eternal pessimists. Something will always go wrong. They believe, and because they keep believing like that, things keep going wrong for them. No, it is like self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe in something, it manifests. The more you are negative, the more negative things happen to you. The more you are positive, the more positive things happen. Says, Chintaya jayate dukkham. All the sorrow arises from this constant worry about things. And the Jnani knows, Nanyatha, na anyatha iti nishchayi. In nishchaya, in confirmed way, the wise man knows that nothing else is the reason for our sorrows in this life. The only reason for our sorrows is this constant worry, chinta, continuously worrying about everything. Then he says, Taya hina sukhi shantaha. Bereft of this, getting rid of it, one becomes happy and peaceful. Sarvatra galitas prahaha, because he has gotten rid of all the desires in all places. At all times, in all places, in all situations, desha kala paristiti, this person has gotten rid of all his desires. Therefore, there is no worry because there is no anxiety of the outcome because there is no desire. Whatever comes by virtue of his fate, as the last time we heard, apada sampada kala, daiva deveti nishchaya. All good and bad times happen to us because of our fate, they believe, because of our past deeds. So, therefore, no point in complaining and crying. It is a part of the whole thing. Likewise, this person stops worrying. Why? Because he believes that whatever is happening is bound to happen. It's meant to be this way. And there is little I can do about it. The best thing I can do about it is not to worry. Not insist that I must somehow remedy this and somehow I get rid of this. That's not possible. Go through it. That is why endure it. Krishna says endure it. Don't complain. Just endure it in life. Be happy and be peaceful. Chinta is the reason for Chita, Bhagavan used to say. Chinta means constant worry. Chita means your funeral pyre. This Chinta leads you to Chita. The only solution is Chintana, he used to say. Chintana means constant contemplation on the divine. So the three words, Chinta, which is worry, Chita, which is your funeral pyre, and Chintana, which is contemplation. So if you contemplate on the higher self and the divine, you don't worry, because of which you don't die early. Many people are dying early. Yesterday we had the mental health day, international. Many of them are dying of worries and anxieties, imaginary things. They imagine things to go that they will go wrong. Paranoids. They just can't believe things can go right. This makes the things worse for them. Every time they worry, they make it worse for them because there is a law of attraction in the universe. The kind of person you are, you attract the same kind of people and situations to yourself. Birds of the same feather, as they say, flock together. So you'll attract that kind of energy, those kind of people to you who are negative like you. And it gets worse and worse with those people joining you. So it is not right. So always think in a positive way, be positive. That is possible only in the company of positive people. That is why run away from bad company and join the company of the devotees and positive people. That will give you some positivity. It is very important because if you don't make self efforts, consciously get rid of negative people and join positive people, what in today's parallels we call toxic people, get rid of them by effort. Without putting effort, it won't happen. You don't just believe that they will leave you one day. No, they won't leave you. You have to make efforts to break ties, break away from those people and sever all ties from with such people and go to the company of positive people. That is why satsanga is important. I believe there is a story when Gautam Buddha was being served by his disciple Ananda. One morning when Ananda would wake up earlier than Gautam Buddha and do his meditation, and by the time Buddha wakes up, he would be ready to serve him. So one day in his meditation, he got this brainwave, that eureka moment. And he felt that satsanga is half the effort on the spiritual path is achieved if you are in the company of good people. He thought so. And he was waiting for the Buddha to get up so that he could share his new insight. And when Buddha woke up, he went and told him, I have discovered this great truth. What is it? That good company solves half of our problems. It's half of our journey. It's half of our seeking. Then Gautam Buddha said, no, you're wrong. Good company is all of your problems solved. It is all that you need. From there, everything begins. So, seeking good company consciously is extremely important and running away from bad company. That is very, very ABC, avoid bad company, Bhagavan used to say. First step of spiritual path is ABC, avoid bad company. So that is very important. You stay in the company of greedy, angry, frustrated, pessimistic, constant negative people, you will also become one of them. Yadbhavam. You will develop such feelings and that is what will happen to you. That is the idea. Even yesterday the speaker had come, he was telling, I'm so frustrated, so angry after visiting this place. It's a nice way to start a speech. Start on a negative note, you catch everybody's attention. And he caught everybody's attention that he came here and got very angry, frustrated, and in a way depressed that why is it like this? Why whole of the country can't be like this? That was his call. And I told him, what's the point in complaining? If I complain, how does it resolve anything? Look at our model. We are not complaining about what all is wrong here. We are only trying to do whatever right we can in our capacity. A little lamp you light instead of worrying about the darkness. It will go a long way in resolving your issues. But sitting here and crying about darkness and complaining about how everything is bad around me, how nobody is good, this, that, it doesn't add value to you or to the world around you. This constant bickering, complaining, and cribbing, this is not going to help anybody. So, what is our solution? Light a lamp. Make efforts. I know the light, one lamp will not remove all the darkness, but at least it removes the darkness around you and the person who is next to you. At least you can walk in the light of that lamp. That's enough to begin with. This is very important. As the other day I was reciting a poem. जलाते चलो तुम दिए स्नेह भर भर, कभी तो धरा का अंधेरा मिटेगा. Someday this darkness of the world will disappear. Keep lighting lamps of love. जला दीप पहला तुम्ही ने तिमिर की, चुनौती प्रथम बार स्वीकार की थी. The first time you challenged the darkness, you took upon yourself the challenge of darkness by lighting the first lamp of love. You dared to do that while others complained and cried and bickered about it. You did that. And he says, जलाते चलो तुम now I forget. तिमिर की सरित पार करने तुम्ही ने बना दीप की नाव तैयार की थी. To cross over this sea of darkness, you were the first one who created this boat of a lamp in which you could sail and cross over the darkness. Nobody dared. No, others only worried and cried and complained. But you took courage to light that first lamp, make that first boat to cross over this dark sea. You did that. बहाते चलो नाव तुम यह निरंतर, कभी तो तिमिर का किनारा मिलेगा. Keep floating these boats of love continuously. One day you will definitely find the shores of this darkness. You will reach light. This optimism is what keeps us going. Hope is what keeps us going. उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है, they say. It is hope. So when we do some good work, what are we creating? We are creating hope in people's hearts. I know things are bad, things are dark. The way world is around, we can worry about it eternally. There is nothing going to change because of that. But you make a little effort to create some hope in somebody's heart. Make them feel loved for, cared for, included, wanted. That creates hope in them. And that hope is very powerful. It can create magic. But if you give negativity to people, nothing, kuch nahi ho sakta hai, this is like that only, people are like that only, they are selfish. Continuously go on complaining about it, nothing changes because of that. In fact, things get worse. So our hope is this, that yes, world is transient, world is impermanent, full of sorrow, full of misery, but still find a way to be happy within this unhappy world. Why? Because that is the only way. And how can you be happy? The other way is, I said, make others happy. When you make others happy, you become happy. So do little deeds of goodness. Light those lamps of love. Sail those boats of hope, and the sea of darkness will be crossed one day and we will reach the other side. But if you don't do anything sitting on this shore, you go on complaining how terrible is this sea, how dark it is, nothing is going to change. So I was telling him also, yes, we can also complain and cry about why governments don't do what they supposed to do, why people are like that. But how does it help anybody? At least we are lighting a lamp and trying to fight the darkness to that extent. Similarly, one more leader had come. He was also starting. Sanathana Dharma is on decline. Nobody cares about Hindu principles. Nobody, next generation doesn't go to temples. I kept on listening. After some time, I got fed up because, what's the point? I told, yes, but I cannot change the whole world. I don't have a magic wand. Everybody will wake up as a great follower of Sanatana Dharma. But what I am doing in these children, whatever in my capacity, this is what I can do. These children, I am teaching what is right. And I know all of them will not follow at the end. Maybe few will fall away. But doesn't matter. At least some people have gone ahead and done that. Now farmer knows when he grows his crop, not everything will be a rich harvest. Sometimes some crops fail. Some trees die. Some fruits rot. But for that reason, he doesn't stop growing next season. He's an eternal optimist. He goes on doing. So optimism in life is very important. Positivity is very important. Hope against all hopes is very important. That is human resilience. And that comes from spirituality. Only then mental illnesses can be defeated. Because you are spiritual, like those people in Philippines who were more spiritual than the other country. Therefore, they could come back quickly to positive. They could recover from the losses faster. And not only recover, they helped each other also recover from the losses. Through empathy, through kindness, through compassion, through sharing and caring. So that is the idea. That is why Ashtavakra goes on saying, what's the point in crying over this spilt milk? Chinta, chinta, chinta. Bhagavan used to say, Hari, Vari and Kari. These three things you should avoid. Hurry, in a great hurry to achieve everything. No patience. Everything has to happen today. This instant generation that we have today, everything has to be instant. Fast cars, Tiger would joke. Fast money, fast cars, fast women and all that. Everything has to be this way. Everything you want at the snap of a finger. And this generation is super impatient. All I'm saying is that mind is like that, loves cheap entertainment, but we should not fall for that. We stay in the company of right people, we will not bother about this. That's why Bhagavan said, hurry, stop. Worry, if you do things in a hurry, you will worry. Why? Because naturally you have done things in a haste, and haste makes waste, as they say. You will end up with worries. I've seen this whole Instagram generation, I call them, how many mistakes they have made by just getting sucked into that whole thing, getting into broking, getting into online gambling. Luckily, the government of India has come up with rules that you cannot have this gaming and all with money involved in it. You can play gaming for gaming, but you can't have money, like you can't make a gambling out of gaming apps. They're very clear. It's huge uproar. There are so many lakhs of 2 lakh people are employed in that gaming industry. What will happen to them? I told they're employed in gaming industry, not in gambling industry. Why are you worried then? But there is gambling going on behind this gaming. Instant generation. So hurry, then worry, and curry, he say. Curry means eat correctly. Don't eat too much of food, overtly cooked and processed food. Again, this generation is all about processed. Everything is processed. The two types of malnutrition exists in India. One, in the villages where children don't get to eat basic things. They only keep eating carbs and starch because that's all is available for cheap. And the other side is this city, urban malnutrition, where children are obese. Obesity is the big issue. Why? Because they keep eating all this junk food. And that is what is ruining their health. And parents don't care because they have no time. They are also hurry, worry, curry type. So they also give whatever is there, give them some bread, jam and get going. We have to make money at our offices. What they're eating, when they're eating, no sense. So these all are leading to all the mess. And then you say we have mental health issues. You created it. You created it in the first place. So this is the idea. He says this worry comes from making mistakes. Haste makes waste. Waste makes worry. So do not be in a hurry. Bhagavan used to chant this. Let's chant this so that we remember. Haste makes waste. Waste makes worry. So do not be in a hurry. Yeah. At least this generation should remember this. In a hurry, we want to get everything very fast. We make mistakes, we worry, and that haste is the reason why we have wasted our lives. So go with the flow. That's what I say. Your life should be effortless. Your life should be spontaneous, like flow of river. Effortlessly it should go. There is no push and pull. What is divinely destined, let it flow through you. Your whole goal is to express the divinity through you. That's all. Express the divine will to flow through you and make things happen through you. And if divine will is not flowing, so be it. Keep quiet that day. Do nothing. And if divine will decides that you should do something, then do something on that day. Not by your wishes and your desires, but the divine should guide your steps. That is possible if you have completely given up all the desires for yourself. Galitas prahaha, it is the word. All your desires have been dissolved. There is nothing that you want to do. You wake up just to do the divine will. That's it. You don't wake up to do your will, your desires, your ideas, your ambitions, nothing yours. Everything is divine. Whatever flows through you that day, you should be happy. Today you may do great things, tomorrow you do nothing. Doesn't matter. Whatever is divine decided that day. That surrender is the essence of life. This is what is in Galitas Praha. Tayahina Sukhi Shanta. Become free from this and become happy and peaceful. In all situations, be desireless. Galitas Praha. Have no desire of your own. That is what Krishna says in Bhakti Yoga also. Anapeksha Shushir Dakshaha Udasinaha Gatavyataha Sarvarambha Parityagi Mukto ya Sachame Priya. Sarvarambha Parityagi is the word. Sarvarambha Parityagi means he is not the initiator of anything. You may say, you initiated the hospital, you initiated the school, you initiated today one more urgent care center. You are doing all these things and then telling don't take any such initiatives. No, by your ego or out of your desire, don't take initiatives. To further your promotion and your dominance or your control, don't take initiatives. If it's divinely ordained for the good of all, definitely divine will guide you. He will inspire you. And you know when divine inspires because you feel so correct in that. You feel so convinced. There is no anxiety of failure also. Yes, we will start off because divine has willed. Whether you will succeed tomorrow or fail tomorrow, that doesn't bother you when it's divinely ordained. But if it started or initiated by your ego, every step there is worry. What if it goes wrong? People will laugh at me. I would have wasted all the resources. People will question me. I will look like a fool. All these worries will bother you. But when you are not the initiator, your ego is not the reason why you started things. It is under divine guidance. You don't worry about the outcomes of it. So, how do you become a person without worry? All your desires should be done. The first word chintaya and the last word galita spraha, these are connected. When your desires are dissolved, your chintas will disappear. All your worries will disappear. It is our desires only which make us go through all kinds of worries. Stop worrying, be desireless, and flow effortlessly under the divine will. Surrender yourself to divine and let the divine decide as it is to be done. So some days will still be good days, some days will still be bad days, but you have accepted it like you have accepted the seasons. Summer time it will be hot, winter time it will be cold. You have accepted it. That's why Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkha. By mere touch of the skin or by mere experience to the senses, sparsha, that you experience happiness or sadness in heat and cold. Heat and cold are not causing you happiness and sadness. Your interaction with that causes you. The same fire which is so very nice during winters feels terrible during summers. It is too hot. But that is not the reason you curse the fire. Fire, is doing its job. You accept it. That seasons are different, so you'll have different experiences. Accept it, and he says, Tanti Dikshasva Bharata, Agama Payino Anityam. They come and go, they're temporary. Summer comes, then winter comes. It is a part of seasons change. Accept it and endure it. Don't complain. Don't worry. Why it happened like this? Why couldn't have happened differently? Why to me only? They also somebody sent a message. I've been your devotee. I have done this. I have done that. Why I am only suffering? Why I am only going through this? Then I asked him, when you were having good time, you never messaged why I am only having good time. So many people are having bad time around me. Why you are giving good time to me only? Nobody asked me that. But today, why are you asking? When bad times have come, why me? Why me? Why good times me you never asked? Why bad times me you are asking? This is where our human mind is like. But a jnani will simply have no desire. He will surrender to the divine will, and he says everything is okay. He becomes, though that duragraha is not there, that I want it this way or not that way. That idea disappears. So that is such a beautiful, effortless, free life, burdenless life that a jnani lives. Be like that, and that will happen to you only when you have no individual desire of yours. You are still working for some greater cause, but not for your individual gratification. You are working as per the divine will. It could be running a business, be a political leader, a scientist, or an industrialist, or a musician, or a guruji, whoever you are. Because you are under the divine flow, there is no effort at all. Because there is no effort, there is no worry of outcomes, whether it is going to be positive or negative. We'll go to the next shloka with that. 111 page, 11.6 is the shloka, which says, Naham deho name deho bodhoham iti nishchayi kaivalyam iva samprapto na smaritya kritam akritam. It says, Naham deho. First, we learned in Ashtavakra that we are not the body, we are the spirit inside the body, the jiva bhava, or even paramatma bhava we say. We are not the body. Body is a vessel that is carrying us, the spirit of us. We are this ultimately nirakara, nirguna, brahman. That is our definition. That we have learnt, everybody knows it theoretically. Naham deho. So it says, I am not the body. Good God, you got it right. One point. Then, name deho. Nor the body is mind. First you say, I am not the body, perfectly correct, because body is belonging to, like Bhagavan used to say, this is my kerchief is different from me. Like that, this is my body is different from me, he used to teach us like that. So first point is right, you are not the body. But then you think body is mine. At least I have to look after my body, like I am not the car, but the car is mine. I have to, looking after it, so you get attached to the body. He says, therefore both you get rid of. Naham deho, I am not the body. Name deho, the body is also not mine. That also belongs to God only. When our parents decided to give us birth, did they decide what kind of body they wanted to give us? Or did we decide what kind of body we wanted to have? Short, tall, fair, dark? Nothing. Whatever by nature came, we accepted it, right? Now, of course, we fight. I want to look smarter, handsome, this, that. We go to gym, we go to beauty parlors, all kinds of things. That is a different matter. But when it came in this original state, it came as it is. You have to accept it. Even if whole life you cry and worry and complain, what can change? Of course, you can go get all these cosmetic surgeries done, feel better. But the natural way of what you came was given by God, not given by you, not even given by your parents. Because your parents' body also came from their parents' body, and their parents' bodies came from their parents' bodies. So who had control over it? Nobody had control over it. It came by its own virtue. So neither I am the body nor the body is mine. Remain detached. Body also is given by somebody. Does body, if it is your body, if it is under your control, does it listen to you? Tell the body, don't age. Will it stop aging? Nothing. It will age. It doesn't listen to you. So if it doesn't listen to you, you have no control over it. That's what Ashtavakra is saying. You are not the body, but even body is not yours because it doesn't listen to you. Suppose the son doesn't listen to the father, what will the father say? You are dead for me, you are not my son. Same thing. Body, you don't listen to me. I want you to be healthy. I don't want you to age and become old. You are already becoming old. You don't listen to me. You are not mine. That idea. Naham deho, name deho. I am not the body is not. Bodham iti, bodho aham. I am only the awareness. Bodhaha. Aham iti nishchayi. Know this with confirmation. Know this with complete conviction that I am the awareness, the self, the consciousness. Neither the body nor the body is mine. These are incidental to my existence. These are not my existence. I am already existing. Body came after that. And the association with it came accordingly. But both are unreal. I am the self. I am the consciousness. I am the awareness, which you already know. And kaivalyam iva samprapto. Kaivalya is the state of oneness. Supreme state of that oneness without the second. Kaivalyam iti. Kaivalyam iva samprapto. Attain this state of kaivalya. Kevala kaivalya means only one, no second. Attain that state and na smara akrutam kritam. Na smara means we keep remembering, smarati. We keep remembering, oh, I should have done this, I could not do this. I want to do this, I am not able to do this. Oh, I have done this, I was so great at doing it. This doing and not doing is the whole problem in life, is what Ashtavakra says. When we are not able to do, we regret. When we are able to do, we get excited. There are so many things we wished we could have done, but we could not do, so we worry about it. There are so many things we want to do, we are unable to do, so we worry about it. So many of this doing and not doing catches our being. The consciousness gets trapped in that. So he says, remember, you are the one without the second. You are the not the doer, not the enjoyer self. That is your definition. And stop thinking and worrying about what could have been done, what did not go well, what could have gone right, how we made a mistake and messed it up. Don't worry about all that. So just stay away from all this doing and not doing. Because this is what catches you. And all of us, you see, we always live in either the past or in the future. Living in the present is so difficult. You sit here 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, you sit. 1 second, you will be in the past. Second, you will be in the future. Third, again in the past. Fourth, again in the future. It keeps shifting between. It doesn't live in the present at all. Bhagavan used to say, past is past, forget the past. Future is unknown. So don't worry about the future. Live in the present. Present is omnipresent, he used to say. Very, very nice statements. You have to really dig and dwell in that statement, how profound they were. Past is past. What can you do about it? Oh, I did not do things. I could have done it better. I am a fool. Or curse yourself, but how is it going to change anything? So akritam kritam, what I could not do, what I could do, don't worry about that. It's over. Past is past. Future is uncertain. Whether you will be able to do, you may make 100 plans, but what is the guarantee you will be even alive tomorrow to execute these plans? So don't be so attached to your doing. And present, whatever is going through, live in that and live happily. That is what Bhagavan used to say. Because present is omnipresent. What is the present today? It is the, as I say, past is the seed, present is the tree, and future is another seed. That's how Bhagavan would put it. Today you are what you are because what you did in the past. And what you did today is what will make your future. So present is very powerful, he used to say. That is omnipresent. It is also in the past, also in the future. So live in the present. When people come here and say, so much work is there, I tell them only one thing. I have one mantra. One day at a time. This is the mantra. Live that mantra and I can guarantee you will be peaceful. One day at a time. Today, what God has given us to do, let us do it with all our heart, all our might, all our soul, all our love, and forget about it. And finally, in the night, Krishna Arpadamastu offered everything to you. And if you decide to wake me up tomorrow, you still believe that I am of some use to you. I know you will wake me up. And then I wake up, I will do your will. How long will I do? Till you keep me awake. And then when I go to sleep, I submit everything at your feet and I go to sleep and I wake up again and do what you want me to do. Yes, planning has to be done. A project needs to be executed. A plan has to be made. But that doesn't mean that you get stuck to the plan and start worrying. My God, so much work, so many days, this, that, and lose sleep over it. You don't do that. You live for that day, do your very best for that day, and be done with it by end of the day. This living in the present is the concept he is teaching here. This nas smarati akritam kritam. Such a person does not remember or dwell over what he has done or what he has not done. He is just flowing, he's just flowing. He's not doing. Things are happening. When first time Bhagavan told me about Jivan Mukti, he told me for a Jivan Mukta, nothing is done. Everything happens. One statement. The Jivan Mukta does nothing. Everything happens. I said, I don't understand what you mean. Then he explained to me. It appears that the Jivan Mukta is busy doing things, but the truth is that things are happening through it, like through a machine. When you put the raw material and you switch on the machine, it processes it and then takes out the product. You will say, oh, machine created the product. No, my product happened through the machine. You think machine was waiting for the raw material and was ready to start baking the product? No, it was just there. You switch it on, it will run. You switch it off, it will stop. It didn't calculate also how much raw material went in, how many products came out. It was just there as a machine, as an instrument. Like a mixie. Like if I tell our ladies, if they make a chutney or make some dough or whatever, you put it in the mixer, switch it on, it runs, finishes the job, you take it out. Now you will take, mixie was grinding the chutney. No. Mixie did not sit thinking, oh, it's 8 o'clock, now time to grind chutney. Where is that lady with all the coconut? It didn't bother. Nor it complained, today too much coconut in me, should have put a little less. How much work today for me? 3 times she has rotated me today. No, it just is there, sitting quiet. You switch on, put things in it, it does its job. Switch it off, take out, clean it, put it back, it remains. Life happens to a jnani. Life happens to a jnani. It just happens. He does not make it happen. It happens. Effortlessly it happens through a jnani's life. That is a great example. A lot of jnanis we have seen in this world who just are there. They appear to be super busy doing so many things. But deep under, if you ask them deep down, they don't feel they are the doers. That is why they are not exhausted. We do work for 2-3, isn't ayasadam, this body and this work is full of burden and tiredness. We get exhausted, tired, and we think that is it. I can't do more than this. But how are these jnanis going on and on? Because they don't feel the doership. That is why they're free from the thought of what I have achieved, what I have not achieved. Why I did not achieve, how can I achieve? These things are not there in jnani's mind. This is how they live. They remember neither I am the body nor the body is mine. As long as this body exists, things will happen through it as per the divine will. Like as long as the mixie is in good shape, it will keep mixing, grinding. That's it. Neither the mixie is you nor the mixie is yours. Like that you have to think. It is an instrument of one electronic of its kind. It does its job whenever it is given to do its job. And it doesn't prefer anything. It does not have prejudices. I would only do coconut chutney, don't put anything else. No, it does anything. You give it to it, this. Our life should become effortless like that, so that we don't have to worry and run through this whole idea of doing and not doing. Krishna says in Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, if you Kshetra Kshetrajna is one of the chapters in Bhagavad Gita, he says, all are fields and I am the knower of the field. That's what Kshetra means field. Kshetrajna means the knower of the field. He thinks of the body as a field, like a farm, where you have soil and you till it and then you sow the seeds and the seeds grow into a crop, then you harvest it and enjoy it. Likewise, this body is like a field. Our thoughts are the seeds. Our efforts that we put are the process of farming. And finally, the actions that lead to results are the harvest that we enjoy. That is how he thinks. But who is aware of this whole process? The self, which is who I am, Krishna says. Your body is simply a place where things, when sown, they yield certain results. Deham and they. So he says, Deha, here two words are used. Naham deho means I am not the body. Name deho. This body is also not mine. So who are you? He says, I am Dehi, Krishna says, the one who dwells within the body. That is what I am. Or let us go to a hotel room. What happens? The room is not you, the room is not yours. But you are the roomie or whatever, you are living in that room. Only as long as it is permitted to. So Krishna says all these bodies are like fields because anything sown in it will yield a crop. Bad seeds will yield bad crop, good seeds will yield good crops. A lemon seed will bring lemon fruit, apple seed will bring apple fruit. It just does its job. Whatever is sown, it results. It is not the fault of the soil or the field. Whatever we sow, it will come out. As you sow, so shall you reap, as they say. So body is just a neutral place. Anything can be grown there. Good things can also be grown, bad things also can be grown. That is how body is. Don't be upset with the body and curse it. And there's nothing, no need to do that. Krishna says, know this, that body is a place where things happen. As per like a farmer's field. And who am I? I am the knower of this field. What will grow, what will not grow, what is good, what is not good. I know all of it. Like I am the farmer and this is the farm. Think like that, he says. And that he says, Kshetra Kshetrajnah, this is the idea, this is the ultimate knowledge. He says, Kshetragyam chapi viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the knower of all fields. Not only this body, I am the knower of all the bodies because I am the indweller of all. Kshetra Kshetrajyo Jnanam Yattad Jnanam Matam Mama. That is the ultimate knowledge. That you should be able to differentiate between the Deha and the Dehi, the body and the indweller. Both are not the same. Krishna says very clearly, I am the indweller in all. I am not the body. I am the indweller in the body. So that is the Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga, he says. The one who understands this clearly gets rid of the attachment to the body, clearly gets rid of doership and enjoyership. That is why you should know, differentiate between see, most of the cultures don't even understand that there is an indweller and there is a body. They think I am the body. Somebody asks you, where are you? You will point towards the body, right? Naturally we point because that is how we identify ourselves. But Sri Krishna says that no, body is other than you. You are the indweller. And I am, when he says I am means not only Lord Sri Krishna. I as the supreme consciousness, I am the indweller of all the bodies. Not just your body. Every body is permeated with the same divine consciousness. That is what Krishna is saying. Then why different bodies yield different results? Some sow good thoughts in it. Suppose a farmer is given seeds, rice to be planted. He will plant rice, rice will be the harvest. If he plants wheat, wheat will be the harvest. If he plants ragi or millets, millets will be the harvest. Likewise, some people are good people, some people are not so good people, some people are very kind, some people are very generous, some people are miserly and selfish. Because the kind of seeds that were sown on the last many lives, that's the crop that they are reaping today. So this is body is incidental to our existence, but need it because without the body we cannot function in this world. We need that car, but we do not have to get overtly attached to that car. That is the kind of quality of surrender and clarity of surrender that Gyanis have, which Agyanis cannot possess. Agyanis will suffer if they lose a thing. They will cry over it for the rest of their lives. They'll worry, they will curse, why it did not happen, why it happened like this. They will go on and on and on. They will never find peace and happiness. A Gyani can drop it like that, like hot potatoes. It doesn't belong to him. So easy. That is why Deha Bhava is the most difficult thing to get rid of. Because with Deha Bhava comes the Ahankara Bhava, Mamakara Bhava. When you think you are the body, then only ego comes. And when ego comes, attachments come. And then you are bound. Baddha Jivis. But Buddha Jivis, the enlightened ones, don't consider their body as even theirs. It has happened to them by virtue of being born to certain parents in certain circumstances. That's it. It's been allotted to you like that. You don't have a choice. It just came to you because of your previous life's karmas. So they just accept it and deal with it. They don't cry and complain. No chinta. So there is no illness, mental or otherwise. They just go with it. Ashtavakra got a bent body. He didn't complain about it. And when the people in the court of Janaka started laughing, hey, what is this kind of man who has entered? Do you think he's a Gyani? Look at how ugly he is. And he told very clearly, I thought I have entered a court of great wise people. I realized that I have entered the court of cobblers who only deal with skin. They don't understand the greater truth. That is the comment he made. So that is how detached these jnanis are. And the biggest detachment is detachment from your body. That is the biggest detachment you can develop, because we identify ourselves with the body, and without a body we feel we don't exist. But the knowledge of the self says, no, you continue. And we as devotees cannot be still attached, because we have seen the example in front of us, right? We know things continue. Bodies are just incidental to us. They don't last any which ways. They will anyway go. How much ever you try, whatever you do, at the end it will leave you. So forget about this body consciousness, forget about all this doing, not doing, enjoying, not enjoying, and remember the divine and be free. That is the concept.